Hey everybody, good morning. This is Kelly coming at you. How's everybody doing today? So today I would like to give you the weekly update as far as how things are going in the real estate wholesaling world. And basically, we've closed 2 deals in the last, let's see here, 45 days or so. Not too bad. But yeah, definitely ramping things up as far as a different way of doing things. We've had a lot of success with direct mail, and now going to incorporate the cold calling into it, along with the probably automatic texting if they don't pick up, is where I'm kind of thinking the growth is heading. So yeah, we closed one local deal here in the beginning of March, and we were supposed to close one at the end of March, but ended up turning out a few days late because supposedly the title company had issues, which is probably true. I've had different deals in the past where they said, "Oh, we got a message, I don't know if we can do this on a Friday," and it was supposed to close on Friday, and then because I was texting like a madman, like an hour or two later, I think it was, they're like, "Oh yeah, we can close it." I'm like, well, it's because I was being the communicator between you and the seller. But well, there was a hurricane in Texas, Hurricane Burl, so there was some major issues on that one. But anyways, this one ended up being a couple days late. No big deal. Got it done. Main thing. And so, but yeah, so keep on marketing. Keep in your spare time. Shh. Up. Dasher. Up. In your spare time, 1%, 10%, whatever you can do. 1% is fine. 1 or 2% per day. Just get in the trenches. Do your marketing. You find a good deal. And you can reverse that too. Talk to your cash buyers. Cash buyers are going to what? They're going to give you that buy box, so you know what to go after with your marketing. So you don't have to waste your, whatever, your energy, your time, your money, your this and your that. But as you improve your acquisitions game, you got to get more conversions with those leads. So it's acquisitions, dispo, and marketing. Also, I would like to touch on some biblical laws. So I was come across this. Apparently, according to this guy, there's 4 of them. So number 1, and these all make pretty good sense to me. So number 1 is relying on your natural gifts. So maybe you have a natural gift of this, where somebody else has a natural gift of something else, and you can't deny those natural gifts. Look back in the past over all the great people. Like, one guy comes to mind is Jerry Lee Lewis. He said in his famous video, "This hand makes me 5,000. This was back in the day. So, and this hand makes me another 5. So, playing that piano, setting the pianos on fire, whatever he did back in the day, right? I used to sing Great Balls of Fire when I was younger. Sang it at my own wedding and all that fun stuff. My dad played at my wedding with the band. But yeah, there's a whole lot of shaking going on, a lot of good Jerry Lee Lewis tunes. But so whatever natural gift you have, Maybe you got the gift of gab. You've got the gift of playing a piano. Maybe you've got the gift of marketing, whatever, right? Utilize that gift. And sometimes the gifts are, I've got a gift when I'm in my 20s. Think Arnold Schwarzenegger here. Got a gift when I'm in my 20s, 30s, 40s, on down the line, right? So sometimes you're more physically talented perhaps when you're younger, and then life happens, mistakes happens, or you gradually get older. You get hopefully you get wiser. So utilize those gifts at those wherever you're at in life, right? Whatever age. Number 2 is land, which is what? Real estate. You've got land, and then maybe you've got something on that land, like a house, be it a tiny house, RV, mobile home. So we all know that real estate is the highest common denominator of wealth. The most numbers, the most volume of people, millionaires, have gotten their wealth through real estate. Why is that? I don't know. Good question. Maybe because there's a lot of different avenues to get there. Maybe you could be, a wholesaler. Maybe you could be a real estate agent. Maybe you could be an investor. Maybe you could be a cash buyer. There's so many different things to it. And there's only so much land in the world. So, but yeah, that's a whole nother discussion. So, just saying real estate might be a good thing to get into, whether that's your main thing or your side hustle, or maybe you do some service work to somebody who owns real estate. Maybe you could be a project manager, whatever. I mean, Robert Kiyosaki comes to mind. You can study up on the great project managers. You can study up on Grant Cardone. You could be your own Grant Cardone. So number 3, let's move on. Yeah, real estate's awesome. We all know that. Number 3, deploying your wisdom that earned you something positive, which means what? Deploying your wisdom. That means you could be a teacher, you could be a YouTuber, you could be a mentor, you could be, it could be your wisdom about anything. It don't have to be real estate. It could be brushing your teeth once a day, twice a day, whatever your thoughts are on that. Maybe that depends on how many snacks you have. Or Whole Foods you have. But out in nature, I don't think the animals brush their teeth too often, unless you're maybe a raccoon gets into somebody's garbage can, then maybe you should brush your teeth. And hopefully those poor raccoons don't have a lot of pain down the road. But so deploying your wisdom. You got wisdom. You want to get it out to one person that you interact with in life in general, or maybe you want to go on YouTube. I'm a little bit old school. Some of these people know other ways to get your message out. I think another hot one is Instagram, which I'm not involved in too much, but hey, however you got to get your message out. You know the big ones, LinkedIn, on down the line. So get your message out there however you wish. You've got something you've learned. Maybe somebody else, you could teach somebody, or they could, you could share your experience with somebody. You don't want to be too forcing it down their throat. You don't want to be too, trying to remember what it's called, too pushy. But hey, this is what I've learned through my experience, and maybe that will maybe they'll take heart to that and connect with that and relate to that, and maybe take that in, and then that might be their become their inspiration. So number 4, transportation. So think about it. Do you all like to want to stay home? Or do you like to get in your car and drive? Do you like to go from point A to point B? Maybe you're a stay-at-home mom. Maybe you're a stay-at-home dad. Maybe you don't venture out much. Maybe you only have enough money for a stay vacation instead of a vacation. Maybe your job requires you to travel. Maybe your business requires you to travel. Maybe you do your business out of your basement and you don't need to travel much. Maybe you rely on the bus for your transportation, or a taxi once in a while, or an Uber. But all those are transportation businesses, and you can consider your roads. I mean, you could start a business fixing roads. Or maybe you just want to sell t-shirts. I don't know. But yeah, these are the biblical ones. I'll recap. Rely on your natural gifts. We all should do that. That's kind of like a no-brainer. You got real estate. You got specifically land, because we can scrape the house and start over. So if it's an old decrepit house, that's not a deal breaker at all. Deploying your wisdom that earned you something positive. So think of anything positive in your life. What's the highlight? Something that maybe puts you up here in some people's eyes. Some mission you've accomplished. Share that with anyone, or you want to go into the numbers of people, that's fine too. I've also heard too that, not today necessarily, but as time goes on, if you've had these financial dreams of accumulating all this paper and golden color, and you're not going to be able to take it with you. The true treasures of life are your stories you can share. I've got so many stories, and very thankful for all of them. It's the feelings you have. Just think, what's most precious to you. These are the things that I think we kind of came here for. Got to learn those lessons sometimes, and that's kind of the important things in life, is loving and caring for yourself and your family, and ripple out from there, your community. If you help somebody out, maybe they can pay it forward to somebody. So yeah, just anything that you've acquired wisdom-wise, that has been a positive or productive or constructive or whatever thing in your life, if you can share that with anybody who's ready to hear that, and you're not going to know if they're ready to be ready or not, but you're planting those seeds. Somebody might put some water on it, might grow into something, You never know. So, but all you can do is just put it out there. So deploy your wisdom. Okay. And sometimes deploying your wisdom doesn't mean talking too much, but might be just something short and sweet depending on your audience. So keep that in mind too. Barflies don't have the attention span of you know what. So number 4, transportation business. So if you're thinking of people's needs, they need to get from point A to point B, how can you do that? Can you put a little thing on top of your car that says, or some logo that says I'm taxi, and then get your word out there? When you go to search for a taxi, where do you look? Well, that's where maybe you should be hanging your shingle. So word of mouth, business cards, you can door knock, you can sticky note, you can non-sticky note. You can do some guerrilla warfare if you got more time than money. So you'll figure it out. Make sure your friends and family know what you're doing. Follow up with them, 24, 48 hours later. Hey, have you referred this to a friend? Have you told all your friends about this? And if you do a good job, you provide more value or quality or quantity. If you provide more of that than what they're paying for, and if you take care of your customers, and back up what you do. If you don't do a good job, maybe it was an accident or whatever, get back in there, offer to fix it. If you can't fix it, offer some compensation. Be fair to people. Be fair to people as if those people were to be fair to you. How would you feel about it? And that'll go a long ways in life. Anyways, this is Kelly. We are always marketing, going on appointments, locking up deals, and if you want to know more, just hit me up in the comments. All right, hit that like button. Have a great Sunday.